I'm back with another one, and in this one we are going to do a little bit something different, and that is I'm actually going to take you through the process of building or assembling the quad. In this case it's Dave C's micro long range. This is not the Flywheel micro long range, it's actually his first edition cut by CNC Madness in Canada. And yeah, I'm going to take you through the process of building it, and I'm going to explain every individual part of the drone and how to assemble everything. Okay, so let's go through the parts used. So first of all, we have the stack. It's Mamba F405 Mini MK2 FC stack, and FC and ESC, and we have whole Immersion RC Ghost and Tramp board. Also we have the Flywheel Dave C 1404 motors. So the drone is actually assembled pretty far, but when you look at it, it's only essentials. So I have the motors soldered to the stack, and I have the Immersion RC board assembled. So it's basically you solder up the video transmitter and RX, and that's the basic stuff that I'm not going to bore you with. So and for the stack I have simply soldered the motors to the ESC. So one more thing that I want to show you and actually do on all my builds is that I'm using the heat shrink. I heat shrink the wires to make it uniform across the arm, and that's basically just for looks, but if you want to do it, I will strongly suggest you do that. And also I like to solder the ESC or motor wires to the ESC like so it doesn't get in the way when you're picking up the drone, and the props don't have anything to hit when they are bent or something else. And all in all, it looks way cleaner. For the IRC proton pack, it's basically, as I explained, you get the pins that you solder. You solder your Tramp Nano, and in this case I'm using Zepto receiver that is way smaller than an Eto, and yeah, you can look here how I done that. Also I don't have, or the GPS unit didn't get delivered, so I'm not going to do that, but you have one of my videos explaining how to connect and set up the GPS unit. It's also this is going to be BN 180, but I have a Matic one that I would recommend, and it's way better. It's way faster on satellite lock and everything. So my guess is that I'm not going to need to show you that, because I have a video that I will leave a link in the top right. So let's go and firstly connect the proton board to the FC. So we have the board like So, and we have ground plus video and signal. So we need just those four pads. So first I have my solder on first pad. Second, I need my video here and the signal. Okay, so I'm doing it like so because the pads are up here, so it looks way cleaner. So next one, next one is your VWet, or actually positive. Now we take the video and I always use my white for the signal. One more thing, I'm not satisfied with the first solder joint. I need more paste on it, so I will just redo the first one. Yeah. After soldering, I like to use alcohol and clean the excess flux from the pads to keep it way cleaner. You can see how much dirt there is. Okay, so next we are going to connect or solder the pads, rather connect the proton board to the FC. For this we will use the TX pad because we are using the Ghost protocol. And first pad is ground, so let's connect the ground. I like to leave a bit more slack on the wires so they are not over tight or anything. This should be good. I use my nails to expose the wire. I always use a little bit of solder before I So, as I said, the first one is the ground. So let's solder that first. Ground. Next one over is your voltage that is used to power the everything on the proton board. I'm actually cutting down the wires just to get them to the right length. So, as I said, the next one is your voltage. And then I'm going to use the white wire that is connected on the DX3 pad on the FC. So next one, we are going to solder up the video part, and for that we are going to use first three as stated on the FC. And what I like to use is I use a little bit of solder resin, because some of the electronics have conformal coating and the flux actually doesn't stick or take on really well. So let's do the video. As I said, we need 5-volt ground and video in for your camera. And video out is actually 4th pin from here. So first one is voltage, because we don't need the voltage for the proton board. The proton board has 5 volts from here. So 5-volt ground, DX, and this pin is actually the pin I need for the video. So as I said, I actually like to go, how can I make this way more cleaner? I'm actually going to go like so, to keep it cleaner and to get the wires out of the way. So let's cut down since this is a long range quad, I'm actually going to make sure that I have this one soldered on really good, because I don't want to have a cold solder joint or anything and have my quad fall out of the sky because I lost the video. So next we are going to connect the camera to the FC, and for that I'm going to measure how much I need. I think this is going to do nicely, and I'm going to repeat the same process for the camera as I did with the proton board. So I already show you, to get the wire straight you simply just twist them like so. So a little bit of flux. I have plenty solder on my soldering iron tip, and one more time just to cut the wires to the right length. And again I have the first pin is 5V ground and video in. So first pin is 5V, video. So I'm actually going to do the same thing that I did with other wires, just to double check. That's it. I don't have any cold solder joints or anything in case. I'm just actually going to slightly bend it like so. I'm going to mount the cam. I'm just going to make sure that the standoffs are really tight. And what I noticed with the original design, or actually with the 3D printed files that are on the Thingiverse on Gate Hunter's site, if you are going to use the analog for your video, you can actually mount the camera in the holes that they are provided, but you actually need to slide it forward. When you do it on the last part, the camera connector actually interferes with the standoff. So I'm going actually to move it slightly forward like so, and I doubt I can do it on camera, so bear with me. So I needed to do a little something different, and that is because the cam mount has this split. It's really hard to mount the camera, so I assembled the camera before, and I'm actually going just going to slide it in. actually going to seat the wires further down into the drone itself, like so. Maybe do it like this. So yeah, so here we have all parts assembled. So we have the power to the ESC from the battery, the flat wire or cable harness connecting the ESC to the FC and providing power to the FC. From the flight controller we have power and ground to the proton board that is powering the VTX and RX. From this proton board we have a signal to the TX3 pad on the flight controller, and we have the VTX connected to the FC via video out, and we have power, ground and video to the camera itself. So all it's left to be assembled is we need all the antennas connected. So I have here a Flyvo antenna that I'm actually going to connect to the that was pretty hard. So we need to put the standoff back in between the motor wires and the wiring harness from the proton board. So once again, let me seat the wires neatly so they don't interfere with anything on. And lastly, we have the antenna for the Zepto receiver. So for the antenna, I actually don't like the placement on the arm for the long range version. We have a pretty hefty 4S lithium ion pack, and it's easily shaded by the camera, and I don't like it placed here. So just use a zip tie to secure it on the drone. So yeah, here we have everything assembled and ready to go onto the beta flight and set up everything that I'm actually going to do in a separate video. So hope you like my build video series, and yeah, see you in the next one.